Hey everyone, welcome to Dustin, the Blind Minnesotan podcast. Today I want to talk about how I do my job at Mike's Discount Foods in Fridley because a lot of people are probably be wondering how does a visually impaired guy go through produce? And I'm going to say I am not the best produce person in the universe because I'm visually impaired. I can't see all the faults and the flaws of some of the produce that we get at the store. But the number one thing I do is a lot of feeling. I touch a lot of the food because, for example, when I'm going through tomatoes, I physically have to feel the whole tomato for wrinkles and stuff. And if you feel like if it has some wrinkles and stuff, you do not put it on the floor. And I do the same thing for like green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers. Because I can't see everything wrong with them. I have to, before I put them on the sales floor, I have to go through them and I have to feel everything to try to find the wrinkles and stuff if it's bad. And if I feel wrinkles and stuff, we put it in our discount rack. So then, I wrap them all up and I put stickers, the price stickers on them. And then I put them on our discount rack that has wheels on it. So I can wheel the rack to me, put the discount produce on the rack, and then push it back. So even when I'm doing stuff at Mike's Discount Foods in Fridley, like the potatoes and stuff, I physically have to like feel them and make sure that there's no mold or defects, you mean? And the hard part about me working in produce is it's a very visual job and I don't have really good vision. So I have to use my feelings of touching and all that stuff to figure out if it's worth selling. And because my vision loss is in better than other people's, I physically can wrap the product myself. So when I go through all the produce, when I'm loading up the produce on the shelf, putting the good produce in the containers, the bad produce in the discount bin that I'm pushing around on my cart, um, when I go through them, I'm feeling them all up, and I'm putting all the good ones in the bin, and I take all the bad ones in the back. I I I wrap up the food in plastic and put the sale prices on them. So with that, I'm able to do that, and that's all feel. So I put the thing on top of the machine, grab the plastic, lift it until I feel there's enough plastic being pulled to cover the whole tray. Then I put it on the plastic slicer and melts the plastic, and I can then seal the wrapping around the produce. You know what I mean? And with me, wrapping's a little slower than some of my coworkers that have 20/20 vision. Because they have 20/20 vision, they can move twice as fast as me and not get hurt when they're doing that kind of stuff. But because I'm visually impaired, I have to take my time to do things properly. So, am I the best produce employee ever at Mike's Discount Foods in Fridley? Heck no. I'm not the best employee ever. But I try my best and I feel things, make sure they're not wrinkly or moldy or whatever. Put them on the shelves, and then put the bad ones in the discount pile, wrap them up, and put them on the discount shelf. And I take the 10U bus to work because I can't drive and I don't want to pay for expensive Uber fees every day. So I walk down to my local transit station, wait 10 to 15 minutes for the 10 bus. Sometimes I like being at the bus 10 minutes early because if anything happens, you're not stranded there no matter what. And what hap- so I have to get there 10 minutes early. I get there 10 minutes early at the bus stop, and then sometimes it can come 10 minutes late. So then I'm still there waiting for the bus. And then by the time I get it, I take the 10U bus all the way to Osborne University, where I get off and I walk to work. Um, my vision is good enough that I can barely see the walk sign across the street. So, so I can look across the street and I see like a green blob or a red blob. And because I had vision loss my whole life, and I lived in the suburbs my whole life in America, and the suburbs are very car friendly. I learned ways how to cross the street and stuff without dying. So when I see the red blob turn green, I know when to go, and I hope that I made the right judgment call and I don't die. Because, I don't carry my okay, when I'm going to work, I always have my white cane if I need it in my backpack. But sometimes when I'm going like grocery shopping or whatever, I don't want to carry my white cane in my groceries. So then, I just don't take it with me and I trust that I just don't die. So, so when I'm crossing like university to get to work or something, every day it's a gamble because sometimes I have the right to cross and people in the turn lane do not stop and they almost run me over. So, every day me going to work and me getting to work, sometimes it's a hassle because the bus is late and I'm there early because sometimes the bus can show up early and then the bus shows up late and then it still takes me 45 minutes to get to work. You mean? And it's just sometimes just getting to work is a hassle. But I do it because Social Security does not give people enough to survive off. So I work at Mike's Discount Foods. So then, I can pay my rent and live in my nice apartment here in Columbia Heights. So, so I am willing to suffer with the transportation headaches so I can make money and then I can live a better disabled life. So a lot of my job at Mike's Discount Foods when I'm in the produce, I'm feeling a lot of stuff. But and the two things I have the most difficulty with my low vision are strawberries, blueberries, grapes, because the mold can hide in between the products when I'm searching for them before I put them on the shelf. So the outside of the grapes and strawberries can be all good, but once you go into the vine and you spread them out, you can find a whole mold section that you can't find or see just by looking outside the bag. So in the strawberries are the same way. So, doing my job as a visually impaired person is not easy because my job is very visual and you need to go snappy and quick because, people are pulling off food off the shelf all the time and you need to go quick to keep up. So then, they have plenty of choices when they're shopping. So, me as a visually impaired person, because I can't see all the details, I'm slower and that sometimes causes problems in my life. And sorry for this, I have some kind of cold. Because I work in the fridge, I'm going in and out of fridges all day at work, and it's been hot outside, cold inside, and all the weird temperatures lately that I'm going through. My work is kind of getting me sick, but it's okay. I am slowly recovering, and everything's gonna end up good. Um, And then, I have to submit my pay stubs every time I get paid to Anoka County and the Social Security office, so then they can know how much I'm working and adjust my benefits to my money. So, well, guys, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.